What's up, everybody? I wanted to go over a few of the marches that I have set up with you guys and explain why they're necessary. I'm going to start with an attack march. You can go into your drill grounds here, hit marching armies, and you have these presets that you can make. I'll go ahead and clear this one out and just go ahead and start from scratch. Alright. The first things you want to put in your march are the things that you absolutely have to have, and then you fill in the blanks with the other stuff. You absolutely have to have a front line. About 10%. You're not going to attack anybody that's way stronger than you. You're going to attack people that are way weaker than you. You're going to attack people that you're pretty sure you can win the fight. For this reason, you only need a little bit of front line to soak up the damage while your mages and archers kill things off. I'm going to start with 10%. As you can see, my march is 63,800. You just knock off the last zero for 10%. 6380. You're going to use even tier orc infantry because their buff applies when you're attacking. Odd tier humans, their buff only applies when they're defending. They are completely worthless in an attack march, so only use the orc infantry. Once you have your front line set up, you want one of each horse. You do not want a lot of horses, just one of each. One even tier, one odd tier. You do want the buff that they bring, but most people that know how to play this game recruit mostly mages, and mages kill horses, so you don't send horses to attack somebody's castle. Their whole army is going to be there probably, and you don't want your horses wiped out. Now, if their army's not home, you can send horses to take their RSS, but for the most part, an attack march is specifically to kill somebody's entire army. Alright, so no horses, just one of each. Alright, once you got your horses in place for the buff, you want all the angels you got. Angels have a very good AoE attack. They can damage a lot of troops at the same time, so you want as many as you got. And then now you're down to your damage. The damage comes from pretty much mages. They do the most damage by far. Archers bring a really good buff and also do a lot of damage. But with what you have left, you want about 60% of them mages. As you can see, I've used 7,813 troops so far. That leaves me room for about 55,000. A little more than half, 60%, is going to be about 30,000. So I'm going to put 30,000 mages in this march. You want to use your highest tier for the most damage, and you also want some even tier for the buff that they bring. Even tiers are for defending only, but they still do more damage if it's your highest tier. And the odd tiers actually bring an attack buff that kills horses. So I said we're going to use about 30,000. I'm going to do 25,000 of the highest tier I have, and 5,000 odd tier to get their buff. Alright, last thing we got is archers. You're just going to fill in the rest with a little bit of mixed archers. They have two different buffs, both of which are good. One's good against infantry, the other one's good against mages. You want both buffs in there. Any buff that a troop brings applies to the entire army. That's why it's important to have a good mix of these things. My highest tier is tier 6 right now. I got room for about 25,000 more troops. I'm going to go ahead and put 20,000 of the best tier that I have. And now you can see I have room for about just under 6,000 more troops. So I'm going to go to the next tier down to make sure I get their buff. Start with 5,800. 5,800 leaves me room for 187 more. So 5,987 is the magic number. Alright. As you can see, I have a full complete march. I have all the necessary buffs I need. I got a good front line, and it's going to do a ton of damage. Just hit the save button, and anytime you march on a castle, you'll use that setting. That's all for now. If you guys have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below, or ask me in Discord, or ask me in game. Either or is fine with me. I will follow up with a PvE march and a defense march in future videos.